If you are looking into buying cheap and safe FIFA coins, look no further than FUTCHAMPS.net. They have the fastest service, an incredible loyalty reward system, and the best prices around. Use my creator code Inception when you sign up for your account and get a 5% discount with your order. Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. We should have a few videos today, to be honest with you guys. Yesterday, they released, I think it was like an 84 plus times 5, which, to be fair, is actually a good SBC. I definitely could have got the share plays for that, but just want to take a break. Some days I gotta do that for myself, you know. But for today, we have the best promo that we've ever had in FIFA coming back. I feel like this one might be a similar situation because we have had this promo in the past with like the daily content and all that kind of stuff, and to be honest with you, it was absolute fire, right? Like even when I reviewed all of the winter wild cards, it was worth reviewing all of them because they were all sick cards, and I wish that was like a consistent thing. You know, I wish they didn't always post pretty much the same cards all the time, and this one does actually look pretty different for cards that are gonna be meta, but they're different, you know, because we've seen the Griezmanns, the Mbappes, all these types of things, and it's pretty much all the same, right? So we have some new cards today. The first one is obviously going to be Alexia Putellas, right? So obviously this card, gonna be honest with you guys, man, I even mentioned this many times in the videos that for me, this card is better than Zidane. You know what I'm saying? Like this card, honestly, can be used anywhere. You can use her in the main attacking positions up top if you really wanted to. You can use her in the midfield setup. It genuinely doesn't matter. She is amazing in game. She's fantastic. Her average body type doesn't matter because the way that it works with her 5'8" height, her 5-star capabilities, like if you told me she wasn't an average, I would believe you, to be honest, because every time I use this card in a team, she's brilliant. Like I wish I were to pack her for the RTG account. It'd be crazy to work with her because I mean, look at all the play styles that she has, right? It's like a cracked out version of De Jong, basically, right? Like a super cracked out version. She's gonna be crazy as well. Like honestly, if you were to pack this card right now, she would still be a meta card to use. Like that's how good she is. And obviously during that time period, if you got this card, it just looks cooler. You know, it looks cooler in your team. We can't argue against this. But she's absolutely fantastic in game. She's such a beast, plays really well in game. I mean, you can't really go wrong with her. She has all the play style, she has all the stats that you need to be an absolute monster. Van Dijk. So spoiler alert, I actually packed this version of Van Dijk on the RTG account, which is a W because obviously it helps out for the objectives and stuff. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I do feel him being defensively worse than the rare gold card by a little bit, and you can see it's a +2s, but I do feel that difference a little bit with the card. Not a massive difference, but still good enough to be able to pack and to use on the RTG and to do the objectives and stuff, because he's expensive for people that are doing division rivals, that are doing FUT champs, right? They just want to play the game normally while unlocking the objectives, right? So very key thing to mention there. But yeah, Van Dijk's one of the best defenders in the game. He's absolutely fantastic. I think pro players might even still use the rare gold card in some of their teams at the events because that's how good he is, right? Van Dijk's an absolute monster. His body type, like there's certain stats that you see on this card, it just doesn't matter. In game, it doesn't matter. You know, you give him the shadow chemistry style. He's a lengthy player. His acceleration is a 74, but I'm telling you guys, man, you really notice the sprint speed for him in particular. Like when you're running with the card sprint speed wise, he feels way faster than what it looks on an acceleration level. Because when you look at acceleration, sometimes that makes certain players take way too long to just run, right? In his case, it's just not the case with him. He's an absolutely brilliant player. My monitor is on this setting that's going to make me blind. Call of Duty, man. In the shadows, you can't see anything, so I have to raise the brightness like crazy. But anyways, yeah, jockey, block, anticipate, bruiser, like he has everything, right? Which is amazing for a card like that. Obviously going to be very meta. Ronaldo is going to get a new card. People were kind of like hoping that he was going to get the evolutions at one point. So I think he matched the evolution requirements at one point, but he didn't match the rating itself. It was something like that, which is what, you know, allowed you to basically not be able to do the card. With winter wildcard, obviously with this card they do like the whole like, oh, he has Trivela plus, or he has Trivela plus. With the new one, maybe they give him like finesse shot plus, maybe they give him like a 5-star. It's so insane to me that this card doesn't have a 5-star weak foot. They do this all the time, but I feel like they do this because they want to make it like a special thing where it's like, oh, Ronaldo now has a 5-star, which is ridiculous because this guy's weak foot is incredible. Like, he shoots the ball very, very nicely. But yeah, Ronaldo card, you know, it's a card that you probably give like a hunter chemistry style to. You utilize him for what he is with the aerial and all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, man. I'm personally not too crazy about Ronaldo this year. Especially the rare gold card. Like, I mean, compared to like Messi or something, like Messi's rare gold card, if I were to use him in a team right now, that card's crazy because of that left stick, right? Ronaldo's like agility and balance is very noticeable this year, but on the Trailblazers, it was a little bit better to work with. Obviously, you know, you give him a hunter chemistry style, you can use him for his physical capabilities. But yeah, I'm very curious to see what they do with the winter wildcard version. Dybala is definitely a very good option to do for a promo because he has his informs and stuff, but the card, it never really like truly hits until a promo version comes out. So obviously the SBC came out, and honestly, the price for this SBC was really, really nice. I definitely enjoyed this a lot, but a winter wildcard version is probably going to put him at like a 4-star capability, maybe a 5-star 4-star, depending on how they're feeling, honestly. And then base card stats will be improved for a card that you give a hunter chemistry style to, right? And, you know, base card stats for dribbling is going to be even higher to work with the unique body type. So still a cool card to get as an SBC. It was really cheap, 72k. As an SBC is a banger. You know, you put your fodder into it because everyone always gets like duplicate fodder, so they could just kind of like build towards him and build that sort of team. But yeah, Dybala has, you know, very good play styles to work with. Trivela, first touch, technical, dead ball. Like, he has a bunch of stuff, right? Hopefully for the winter wild card, they change this, because this for me is really pointless. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for the PlayStation Plus, for the Playstyle Plus, I'm not really too crazy about that. Rafinha is actually a very sick card to get if he's still a high. Is he still a high? Yeah, this is a cool card. This will be a very, very nice card, especially if they format him correctly, because as of right now, it looks like a finisher chemistry style flex with base card stats being improved in multiple areas of the card. Because if they put his pace at like a mid 90 area, it's going to be really sick, because Rafinha has all the capabilities to be a really good side position player, right? Play styles in game. He has a few decent play styles to work with. Maybe they add a few more for the winter wild card, who knows? But yeah, a lot of sick stuff to work with when it comes to Rafinha. He's always a good card to use in like the beginning of the year when you're starting off your team. You know, if you pack him as a rare gold, no evolutions yet whatsoever, so it's really sick that he'll get a promo card, because he could be very solid, providing very good links and all that good stuff. I think Berardi already got a card this year, did he not? Yeah, he has the inform cards, but people are mostly using this towards fodder for the most part. And to be honest with you, even if the winter wildcard version comes out, I don't know if people will use him as much unless he's boosted a certain way, because from what I'm seeing with this card, he could be really good if formatted really nicely on an engine chemistry style potentially, right? Because the thing is right now is if you give him an engine, base card stats for shooting and pace is on the lower side, but if that's improved for base card stats, then you have a very good all-rounded attacker, to be honest, with a 4-star capability. Maybe they give him like a 5-star weak foot, who knows, right? He's got dead ball, whipped pass, technical flair, Trivela. Maybe some added play styles would be very nice for this card. But yeah, as of right now, it's more of a fodder card towards some of the SBCs that you're going to unlock. Izak, I feel like, could be a very good card, because the thing is, man, is that in FIFA nowadays, when you have like a 5-star weak foot, it's a really, really big deal to work with. So this card is cool, because if you were to do the evolutions and you did Trequartista time, you have someone that has tiki-taka as well as being a physical type striker that can actually push forward, because the way that he's formatted, he's just there for the hunter chemistry style. He gets in behind the defense, shoots an opportunity, 5-star weak foot, good finishing stats. That's what you use him for, right? Maybe in the future, if you give him an engine, right? An engine chemistry style, look at how the card is formatted. Maybe base card stats can be improved in passing, shooting, pace, and dribbling. And then you're going to have a very good physical oriented striker in general, because this card is someone who base card stats for shooting wise is already in a good area. So if they could improve it from this card, it'd be sick. But the thing is that I feel like they might put it in that general area as well, because this is obviously an evolutions version. So very, very important to take a look at that stuff. But yeah, the 5-star weak foot, obviously a really big deal. It would kind of be a waste to use it for this card, like during that time period for Power Shooter, because Power Shooter gives you the 5-star weak foot, but he already has it. So it's kind of like, you know, unless you're like a Newcastle fan or something, right? Enzo Fernandez, I could see being a really nice card too, because he has so many evolutions, right? Like he has like the pitch commander one from the rare gold version, but these cards are, again, evolutions that you're building towards the future, because as of right now, there's not really like too much interesting stuff going on with this card, right? But obviously, if a winter wildcard version comes out, there would be way more stuff to work with, especially if base card stats are improved a certain way where, you know, he could provide you very good links to your team and just be a very solid player, right? So a lot of potential there. Grimaldo would definitely be a really sick card for sure, especially for the people building some sort of like Bundesliga team, because honestly, he just looks like a really good attacking oriented left back, right? If you use any sort of instruction where these guys are on overlap and they're utilizing their passing and stuff, you know, in his case, he has whipped pass, dead ball, and anticipate. So for that sort of play style, especially on a shadow chemistry style, it's a lot of good stuff to work with. But in the future, you could probably give him an anchor, because they might improve it from the inform version of the card, and then you can boost the physical while making his pace as close to perfect as possible, because it's really important to have as high pace as possible in this game because of how it generally plays out, right? We have Marco Reus. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, Reus is always a tricky one, because Reus, they have to massively increase base card stats for dribbling to make Reus a good card, because last year he had a promo where the dribbling wasn't high enough. I think it was like a brown card of some sorts, where the dribbling wasn't high enough and he didn't feel that special because of it. But then when it hit, like, I don't know, like that one year where it was like the foot birthday, like the foot birthday card that they released was such an amazing card, but you had to sacrifice certain things. And I hate that they do this, right? Because when they release a Reus card, they should try to make him as high as possible in certain areas to really make him feel like a beast. Because if I can give him an engine, but then his base card stats for shooting is really high, that's what would have made the card really nice in the past. However, he's kind of formatted differently this year, so they would have to really boost the pace individually to be a really sick card. Evolutions wise, he does have toughen up, but that's more for people that are maybe building some sort of like Bundesliga team, because this is still kind of on the lower side of usability, because base card stats for dribblings in the mid 80s area for someone who has a unique body type, sure, but he needs like massive dribbling boosts, at least from the past. It's kind of like that way with him. Eze, I don't know how to say this guy's name. I don't really watch Crystal Palace too much, but he's a good player in real life. This guy always had evolutions, and people were like, oh, we gotta check out this evolutions, let's just go to like a Centurion's box of box to see what's up with this card. But yeah, if you did like something like this, base card stats for dribbling still needs to be improved. I mean, honestly, it still looks like a card I have to give like an engine to because of the dribbling. Like in this game, you just need your dribbling to be in the 90s. It's so annoying when it's not in the 90s. Like when it's in the 80s and your left stick dribbling, like they're just annoying to work with, period. Unless they're being used as a physical type attacker, then sure. But even still, like you need to have like nice left stick. So we'll see what they end up doing with this card. He obviously has like very, very good play styles to work with. I mean, it's an attacker that has like bruiser and stuff as well. So a lot of potential to work with there for sure. Militao will definitely be a very nice card. I could see him being solid with the added ability to give him an anchor chemistry style, right? So the other Militao for this version is 13.5k fodder card, I think, right now. But on an anchor chemistry style, he does get... Sorry, I had to sneeze quickly. But yeah, on an anchor chemistry style, it's a well-formatted card because he's on a mostly lengthy, which is obviously very important for how he could generally perform in game. And I feel like it's going to be no different with the winter wildcard version with massively improved stats. Like if they could put everything above mid 90s for defense, physical put into the 90s as well, and then base card stats for pace will be improved, it's going to be a really sick card to pack if you can somehow get your hands on him, right? Balde, this card is like massively needed. I'm going to be honest with you guys, man. The community, sometimes they overhype cards like crazy. This gold Balde card, massively annoying to use. I use them on the RTG account. I always have to try to fit that hero Bumpastor card that I have over him because she's better, period, right? But this Alex Balde card, like, sure, if you use in the beginning of the year, you know, you're building up your team, no problem, but he gets to a point where he's just so annoying to use. So with a new version coming out, and with the potential of you being able to provide him the anchor chemistry style, base card stats improved in the physical, defense, and pace department, it's massively needed for a card like this that provides you very good links, right? That's the whole point of this card, is the fact that he's Spanish in Barcelona. So there's a few things that you could potentially work with when it comes to those things, right? We have Gini Wijnaldum, who is for the Saudi League Peoples. You know, obviously, if you didn't do any sort of evolutions for this card, which you obviously could have if you wanted to, then he could be a really cool card if you need links with certain players. Obviously, with Etifac, the only player that you can have with this is like Jordan Henderson, but that's mostly for sentimental as well, unless you can evolve them in the future. And then for the last one is Cherki, which Cherki is an interesting one. This is the type of card that they make an SBC because they're like, oh, 5-star, 5-star, but then his base card stats for dribbling is in a horrible area, so they kind of like brainwash the community into thinking they're getting like a really nice card, you know? EA stuff. But yeah, Hunter chemistry style, boosting the pace, boosting the shooting. It could be a decent card depending on how they actually end up improving him. Evolutions wise, you could put him all the way up to Budding Starlet 2, apparently. Well, you can use one of them to basically improve it. See, the dribbling on this is a little bit better, right? But then the pace and stuff, yeah, you have to like format him a certain way because he is 5-star, 5-star, so there's potential there, obviously, right? But yeah, that's pretty much it for the team. There is also another thing here that we need to talk about because this is actually a really, really huge variable, and it is basically all the daily stuff, you know, that Winter Wildcard is going to be coming out with. Yeah, so basically there's a crafting upgrade completionist, 83 plus times 20 group reward. You have to do this 150 times, which is obviously really crazy, but they give you a bunch of fodder. Obviously, if you're building towards some sort of like icon SBCs, in my case, it'd be a Zebus card. Then this obviously could be very helpful for you if you're building those sort of squadrons. So that's pretty much it when it comes to all of the objectives that you can do. Like I said, this promo is really crazy when it comes to the content that they release. We have the Winter Wildcards daily login rewards, which is basically all of this. It's always like a bunch of loan cards for the most part. Centurions, Correa loan, it's all loan cards, rare players pack, bunch of fodder, right? Fodder is always helpful to work with at the end of the day, even if they give it the 84 plus times 20, it could be helpful towards some SBC that you are choosing to do. And then for the Winter Champions bonus rewards, you get all of this stuff too. So there's a gold rare unlock Evo, which could be really cool for winning 20 matches in a Champions finals. And then there's obviously another one for winning 70 matches in a Champions finals gold rare unlock as well. And then the rest of them is basically fodder builders, which is good to see because if you're obviously building towards some sort of like icon SBC and stuff, as I mentioned earlier, it could be helpful for building up fodder to unlock some of those cards. There's obviously Mbappe and stuff coming out, which could be today, so that could be something to take a look at as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the Winter Wildcard promo in regards to what's to come. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video today. I might have to work on Mbappe today, so pray for me because it's basically 20 squads like the last time, I think. Peace out, my dudes. Love you guys.